Hey there, I hope you're keeping well during this quarantine period. And in today's video, I just want to share with you guys how you can become a millionaire even if you're only working a minimum wage job. Some people dream their whole life of becoming a millionaire, but are discouraged because they are stuck in a minimum wage job. This is why shows that revolve around a prize amount of $1 million were such a success, as the average person can enter on one of these shows and possibly win $1 million. The sad reality is that most people in this world will never reach this goal by the time they retire. In fact, the average Canadian retires with only $184,000 in retirement savings, which is worse than our American counterparts, who have $195,000 in savings. A study shows that the average Canadian retired household spends $2,611 per month. And what this means is that the average Canadian can live 70 months, or almost 6 years, before draining their retirement savings. But luckily, there is the Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security. If we factor these in, this would expand our retirement savings up to 139 months, or 11 and a half years. So if you were to retire at the age of 65, then you would still run out of money by the age of 77. That leaves you with no money for roughly 5 years, since the average life expectancy is 82 years in Canada. If you see the problem that we have outlined here, would you just lightly tap the like button? Let's see how we can make sure to set ourselves up for retirement so that we're not in a bad position by the time we hit the age 65. Welcome back to The Fire Grind. My name is Daniel, and on this channel, my mission is to inspire you to take hold of your personal finances and invest it with confidence so that you can build wealth for tomorrow. If that resonates with you, would you please consider subscribing to my channel? Today, in this episode, I will be proving to you how you can become a millionaire even if you're only working a minimum wage job, and all it takes is 25 years and next to little effort. And there's going to be a spreadsheet in the description down below that you can plug in your numbers to see what it takes to become a millionaire. First, I'm going to be going over how you should budget your money with a minimum wage job. Then I'll be breaking down the numbers and showing you how much you can save over 1 year. And then we're going to talk about how you can take that money of your savings and put it into investments and grow your money in 25 years into $1 million. And best of all, this is all starting from scratch. So we're here in the spreadsheet which I made to show you how anyone can become a millionaire working a minimum wage job. On the left, we have the minimalist budget, then we've generated a slightly more generous budget, and here on the right, we have the average American budget. We can see that the total is $3,463, which is not going to work out if you are on minimum wage. So if you're on the minimalist budget, here are the items that we have. We have rent, water plus hydro, your cell phone bill, internet, food, eating out, shopping, transportation, and just miscellaneous things, including health, entertainment, and subscription expenses. So for rent, we're gonna put down an average of, let's say, $500 a month, which is reasonable for most people who live outside of major cities. Then we have water and hydro, and I pegged this at around $80 per month. A phone bill, if you're on the cheap side, you can probably get something for $30 a month. If you didn't know, I currently am with Public Mobile and actually pay $9 a month. I have a link in the description down below if you want to check out Public Mobile. The cheapest plan is $25, and if you give a referral, you get $1 off for every month that referral is with Public Mobile. So if you wanted a cheaper phone plan than your $45 or $60 plan, Public Mobile has awesome service. For your internet bill, I'm guessing around $40 per month is reasonable right now. I pay $33.90. For food, I budgeted around $200, and this would equal $6.67 a day. And this might seem insane to most of you guys, but if you're eating like relatively cheaply, like you're eating like rice, pasta, eating cereal for breakfast, you can definitely do $6 per day for food. Eating out, just because we're luxurious, I'm putting $25, which is 1 meal a month. For shopping, I have around $100 of shopping per month, And this is assuming that you have a wardrobe full of clothes right now, and you're not needing any other household items, and you've kind of set yourself up in that way. If you're starting out, then it's a bit of a different story. But we're assuming this is a person who's currently living and they have their own place to rent. For transportation, we're gonna peg that at $150. So this is probably roughly the average cost of a bus pass across smaller and larger cities. In smaller cities, you might be looking at $100. So I'm being a little bit generous on this one, but giving you a bit more freedom for transportation in case you need to take something like an Uber. Now for miscellaneous, there can be some miscellaneous costs like health come up and you need certain drugs because you're sick, or if you want to go out and hang with friends, maybe you want to go to the movies, or just your subscriptions like Spotify, Netflix. I put $150 for this one. So in total, we can see that our monthly expenses are $1,275. Now, if we do a slightly more generous budget, we're gonna spend $550 on rent. We're gonna have $80 again for water and hydro. And again, this is obviously assuming that you're living in a condo rather than a house. For a house, your hydro and your electricity will be a bit more expensive than this. For a phone bill, let's say you want a bit more data, you put it at $45 a month. Internet, you're also going to put at $45 a month. For food, you're going to spend $300 a month, so that's about $10 a day. Eating out, we're going to put $100 because you want to eat out every single week. For shopping, let's put $200, and that will be able to allow you to buy clothing and maybe a couple household items here and there. For transportation, we're going to put $200 because maybe you want to take Uber a bit more, just to give you the freedom to move around. And for miscellaneous, we're going to put $200 because maybe you have more than one subscription service and potentially you want to go out a bit more with friends. So with that, you're talking about $1,720 per month. And you can see that this chart down here, I have an auto calculator on, and we're assuming that you're earning $14 an hour. And this is the Ontario minimum wage. So your weekly earnings is $560. Your yearly earnings is around $29,000. And here's your tax. You have 15% from the federal government and 5.05% from the provincial. And these are your personal allowances of $12,000 and around $10,000. So the personal allowance is essentially, once you earn that amount is tax-free, but everything over that is taxed at these two tax rates. And if you're familiar with taxes, you know that there's multiple tax brackets. However, if you're working a minimum wage job, you haven't crossed over into the next tax bracket, so we're not taking that into account. So your total taxes you're paying is around $3.5K, and your total take-home pay is $25,000. So if we add up all the expenses here per year, we've got $15,300 for the minimalist budget and $20,640 for the slightly more generous budget. And here are your savings: $10,326, $4,986. And now you're going to take these savings and put them into the stock market. And you're probably wondering, what stock do I invest in? And the stock you want to invest in is called VFV. And this is a Canadian ETF for the S&P 500. So if we go to here, we can see that VFV, it's the Vanguard S&P 500 Index ETF. And you can see over its lifetime from 2012 to today, you would have basically tripled your money if you put your money in back in 2012. So pretty solid returns, I would say. And I believe that's actually more than 7% a year. So now that you know what you're going to invest your money in, every month you take your savings that you have and throw them into VFV. And if you want to invest in VFV, you should check out Wealthsimple, because Wealthsimple is a $0 commission trading fee. So you can make trades as small as like $71 to buy VFV and not have to pay a commission. Whereas if you go to big banks, you're paying at least $10 in commission fees. So you're paying $80 to buy this Vanguard ETF if you're only buying one single share. So definitely check out Wealthsimple. I have a link down below. You can get $5 for free if you sign up today and you make $100 in trades. So that's actually already a 5% gain on $100. So now the average stock market gain, if you don't believe me, it's around 10% on average. And this is what this article says. There are no guarantees in the market. but this 10% average has held remarkably steady for a long time. So this is a 10% average increase year over year since the S&P 500 started. And you might find other articles saying around 7%, but that 7% is taking into account inflation. So the actual dollar amount is actually increasing by 10%, but your buying power is only increasing by 7%. Now if we hop over into a compound interest calculator, we can see here that your regular additions, you're going to go back to your spreadsheet and copy this. We're going to put this in this box here. Your regular additions are $10,326 per year. And we're going to have an interest rate of 10%. So this is how much your investment grows year over year. We're going to do a yearly compounding interest to make things simple. We're going to get 25 years to grow. So when you hit calculate, you can see that after 25 years, you're going to be just over $1 million. You'll have hit the millionaire status in 25 years from now if you save $10,326 in a year. Now if we change this to monthly and we say drop it to 24, and you actually only need basically 24 years to almost get to $1 million. So not too bad. Now if you're a bit more bougie and you want to spend more money on your daily living, and let's go back to the spreadsheet, you save close to $5,000 a year. Let's plug this into the compounding interest calculator, and you want to add $4,900 per year. And this is at an interest rate of 10%, and we're going to compound it yearly, and we'll give it 32 years to grow. And after 32 years, you're a millionaire, and you can still live life not extremely frugally, and you can still splurge on a few things here and there. So this clearly shows you that it's possible on a minimum wage salary that you're able to obtain wealth of a millionaire. I have links in the description down below if you don't believe me that the market increases about 10% per year. And obviously it's not every single year it's going to go up by 10%. Some years it might go up by 30%, which like we've seen in 2019. In other years it'll actually either stay stagnant and not grow very much, or it'll actually decline because we've hit a recession. And you can see these in year 2000 and year 2008 when we had stock market crashes. So as you've seen from my plan and how you should budget your money, it's going to take a lot of discipline to be able to hold back from all those shiny new objects that companies are coming out with, like the latest iPhone, or maybe you just want a new MacBook, for example. In order to achieve this millionaire status in 25 years from now, starting from nothing, you have to forego these things. But if you get a lucky break along the way and you get a raise, then it's possible that you could set aside some money and save up for these more luxurious items. An assumption that I've made in this scenario is that the markets will continue to perform like they have done in the past. But my bullish thesis is that the market will actually start to outperform how it's done in the past, due to the whole technology boom that we're seeing right now. We can see companies are moving a lot faster and growing at quicker rates. And I think this will just sort of advance the economy at a higher rate than it's been able to do in the past. Also, we don't take into account any sort of salary boost or inflation here. We're just assuming that your salary increase will actually grow at the same rate as inflation grows, and therefore your net take-home pay is roughly the same. In addition, we're also assuming that you don't get married and you don't have kids. If you have a spouse, you can actually save double the amount that we have here, and your timeline will probably be halved or so. But if you have kids, in the end it might actually just equal out, depending on how many kids you have. And lastly, you have to stick to this rigid budgeting. Make sure that you don't go off track by more than maybe $50 or so. And if you do overspend, make sure the next month that you bring back your spendings. Now if you do a little bit of research on how you can start getting into stock market investing, you find that a lot of the big banks that you bank with right now, they offer a stockbroker account. However, they charge a fee of about $10 or $5 per trade. This will actually completely ruin your gains. Because you're playing with smaller amounts of money, that $10 is actually quite a significant amount of money. Now that you realize you can reach millionaire status in 25 years, you might go out and do some research on what stockbrokers to use. And likely you'll go to the big banks because most of you bank with them. And you'll realize that they charge about $10 per trade to buy and to sell. And this actually will cut into your profits significantly. And here's my suggestion to you. You should sign up for Wealthsimple because they're Canada's first $0 commission trading fee platform. And all it takes is a couple of days for them to verify your account and a couple of days to deposit money, and bam, you're pretty much done. You're able to trade stocks or just ETFs for that matter and build up your wealth through this $0 commission trading fee platform. This way, it'll actually allow you to compound your money month over month rather than year over year. And this will accelerate your timeline by maybe a year or two. So make sure to check out Wealthsimple Trade. I have a link down below in the description. If you sign up today and make $100 in trades, you can get $5 for free. In addition, remember the ticker symbol you're supposed to invest in if you're Canadian is VFV. And this resembles the S&P 500. If you got some value out of this video and it inspired you to take your personal finances to the next level, please consider hitting that like button as well as subscribing and turning on the notifications so you can get more future videos from my channel. I like to go over a lot of stock market investing theories and also different companies that you can invest in rather than just the S&P 500, as it kind of gets a little dull, but if you enjoy just like the boring, easy, simple investing, then go for VFV. If you want to invest in individual companies and take a slightly riskier route, and you want some stock ideas, click this video up here. It's my latest video on one dividend stock and one growth stock. And lastly, stay safe in this time of social distancing. Keep up the grind and have a great day.